Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from Breitbart. Now this was written by Robert Kraychick and it was published on November 22nd. Justin Trudeau gives $595 million tax relief to eligible media. Pretty much all the left media, I'm sure, legacy left media outlets, they're the ones getting the money. Because you have to prop up the propagandists that are losing their viewer and subscribership while you attack the alternative media in the process. Oh God, this is so messed up that Trudeau would be giving money to media like he is. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government will extend $595 million in tax relief over a 5-year period to news media outlets it defines as eligible, according to the Toronto Star. The tax relief will include tax breaks for consumers who purchase subscriptions from news media outlets, refundable tax credits for news media outlets' operational costs, and the extension of charitable status to non-profit news media organizations, registered charities with the Canada Revenue Agency can issue charitable receipts to donors and benefactors for donations. Wow. Trudeau and his government, they really are trying to prop up the legacy media here because it is hurting so bad. Even with the media attacks against Faith Goldie, not allowing her, in direct violation of Canadian law, advertise, things like that, she still garnered a lot of support. So, that's their plan, is to have the control of the legacy media and have it be the only thing, and control narratives and control information flow and all that, and it still doesn't work for them. And they think and Trudeau and his government think by propping up the media, they can change this. By making it so that they're not having to fund themselves to the tune of what they have been. It's going to help them be able to take on the alternative media. It's not. Not even close. Eligibility will be determined by the government and government-established panels. Details regarding such determinations were not provided. Well, of course not, because it's going to be graft. You're literally going to have Trudeau giving his government and the lefties in the government in general, giving this to outlets that they like, that they want to prop up, that fluff them and suck their dicks and play them up as these all great leaders and all this other shit. That's where the money's going to go. Canada's Finance Minister Bill Munro said, "We've made some investments to ensure that we continue that we have an important free press, to ensure that we have a strong and healthy democracy, to protect the vital role that independent news media play in our democracy and in our communities. We will be introducing measures to help support journalism in Canada." That's not a free press. That's a social... Wow, that's literally socialism. You are helping to support... That's government fucking socialism. Well, that's Canada. But you're helping to support failing media outlets that can't compete with the alternative media, that can't compete with someone like me, calling out their shit, on a laptop with a half-decent mic. And that's about it. My laptop's like pushing 5 years old, and in a couple weeks, I'll have my other one that I ordered on, Black Friday, or actually Thanksgiving, but it was a Black Friday sale. I'll have that set up, and I'll be using that, and my content hopefully will get better with it because I'll be able to do higher frame rates, things like that. I'll probably start streaming. But the point is, someone like me with a laptop can do stuff like that and outcompete the legacy media. Can counter their narratives, and you think propping them up is going to solve that problem, or at least be a part of solving that problem, because you're trying to silence the alternative media. The Canadian government offered the following details of its proposal: a temporary non-refundable 15% tax credit for qualifying subscribers of eligible digital news media, meant to help support digital news organizations in achieving a more financially sustainable business model. Let me translate that. People go online to get their news and they don't go to these legacy media outlets. So we're going to make it so that we're going to offer a 15% tax credit for qualifying subscribers to get it off of their news media, because they can't even sell the shit at full price. They can't sell subscriptions to their sites at full price. So the government's going to give the people a 15% discount. That's pathetic. That goes to show how bad Canadian media is, how bad they're doing right now. And they're trying to go, oh, well, we want a free... No, you want this to be the press. You don't want a free press. When you're propping things up like you are with the legacy media, you make that clear. A new category of qualified donee for nonprofit journalism organizations. This will allow these organizations to issue receipts for donations from both individuals and corporations, and will open the door for foundations to provide financial support. This measure builds on a pledge in the 2018 budget to explore new models to enable private giving and philanthropic support for journalism. So basically, what they're saying is if you throw a large chunk of change at a quote-unquote nonprofit journalism organization so that they're in your debt, so that they'll, kind of feel obligated to report things beneficial to you, not only are you going to be able to bribe them, you're going to get a tax break. You're going to get a tax break from it. That's fucked up shit. Because that's literally what they're saying there. This would be like in the U.S. if Cenk made the Young Turks a 501c3, and when the Democrat kingmakers came there and said, you and Anna get on your knees and suck my dicks. Or, well, one kingmaker. But, there's a couple people here. But get on your knees and suck our dicks. Okay? Not only would they get their dicks sucked for that money, they'd get money back from the government. That's exactly what this is. Buy influence and get a tax credit. A refundable tax credit for qualifying news organizations that produce a wide variety of news and information of interest to Canadians. The tax credit will apply to the labor costs associated with producing original content and will be open to both nonprofit and for-profit news organizations. The measure will allow outlets to claim a portion of their labor costs. An independent panel drawn from the news industry will be established to define eligibility of the measure, which will take effect on January 1st, 2019. If they're a nonprofit, that gives them tax exemption status. As far as I know, at least it does in the U.S. Why would they need a tax credit? Kickbacks to for-profit news organizations. You have a quote-unquote independent panel, which will be independent my ass. You know, from the news industry, it's going to be all fucking lefties. And it's going to be a mutual dick suck situation. You know, a fucking circle jerk where they're all getting each other off, giving each other tax breaks and fucking handies. Well, they're laughing all the way to the bank. Various political and news media figures describe the measure as corrupt. Well, no shit. So Candace Malcolm here is a blue check mark. The Trudeau government created a slush fund for the country's struggling journalism industry. It'll be doled out through boutique tax credits for approved media companies, costing taxpayers $595 million over 5 years. So what percent of Canadian journalists receive taxpayer funding? Damn straight. And here's Faith Goldie, actually. Let's see what she has to say. Expect more of this deliberate story censorship after the Liberals' media bailout. They're using your tax dollars to sponsor enrichment, pay for the cover-up when said enrichment goes against their narrative. Wake up, people. Our government and the media is lying to you. Kevin Michael Grace, why did you publish the names of the adult accused CBC News? They are Patrick... Oh, why didn't you publish the names of the adults accused? Aha. So she was referring to another thing. J.J. McCullough. So there will be some sort of Trudeau-appointed panel of journalists set aside to decide which media organizations are legitimate enough to deserve tax breaks from Ottawa. And if conservatives find problem with this, they're conspiracy theorists. Yeah, that will be the argument. That will be the go-to fucking argument. So Steve Blaney here. A thriving free press is essential to Canada's democracy, but the seemingly incestuous relationship between the Liberal government and a union representing journalists makes this media aid package highly questionable. Oh, you think? I agree. That's an understatement. It's complete graft. Honestly, with this free speech in Canada dies. If you don't fit the criteria set by the Liberals, you won't get tax dollars. Every person in this country should oppose this, and the people who accept these funds. Yeah, I agree with Michelle here. Oh, she's got another one. Trudeau has just nationalized new journalism. The panel who will select who gets money based on journalistic standards will be set by him in both accounts, no doubt. Any journal that takes this money will no longer be independent. Thus dies journalism. Yep. Oh, God. Here's Ezra. Ezra Levant. The Toronto Star reports that the Liberals will dole out $595 million to journalists, but only those who are trusted. Can you imagine those conversations on the phone with GM Butts? We'd really like to support your newspaper, but we need to know, can we trust you? Yeah. Here's another Ezra one. Already corrupt. No disclosure that the Globe itself was lobbying for this money. No disclosure that their Unifor union promised to attack Andrew Scheer as a quid pro quo. Wow. Ezra really hung on to this here. A key question that remains unanswered is which organizations will be eligible for the new measures and which ones will be excluded. The government said the package will aim to help trusted news organizations. So it's an ideological test, a subjective test. Does Trudeau trust you? Actually, I'd call it more of a purity test on the note of cultural Marxism and identity politics and so on and so forth. But, I mean, this just goes to show how desperate the left is, how much they need to try to keep the legacy media going and prop it up and strengthen it, because they're losing the information war. They're losing against the alternative media. They're losing against people like me. Just average people sitting in front of a computer. So, I mean, this is fucked up, plain and simple. And I hope Canadians wake up to this shit and go, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Part-time acting teacher, part-time ski instructor. Never had any, training or experience to be a politician. Fuckwit. You do this, we're gonna screw you. We're gonna oust you. They need to be like that. They need to rein him in. But the lunacy of the left is winning, and this type of shit is just only gonna get more blatant. Anyway, covered this well enough. I'm just gonna leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.